Welcome to this edition of Backstage Pass with Leah Chang. I'm your host, Leah Chang. Tonight I'm at the New York Asian Film Festival where Joan Chen received the Lifetime Achievement Award.
I first met Joan Chen on a Zoom call to speak with her about starring in my film, The Wedding Banquet, where Joan plays a mother who is almost too enthusiastic about her daughter being gay. She played the role with such beauty, grace, and humor. In that first Zoom, we spoke about the themes of the film, about family, about parenthood. I left the Zoom so inspired by Joan, so enamored and charmed by her. She later emailed me saying she thought it was a terrible conversation. She thought she talked too much and that she had made a bad first impression. She wanted to assure me that she was excited to work with me on the film. This is the heart, humor, and beauty of Joan Chen. Joan is a creative force and also the kindest soul. I'm so honored to have gotten to know her, not just as a collaborator. She is a clown, she is a caretaker, she's a friend. We've played mahjong, she's not very good. We've fed Galapagos tortoises. I'm so thankful to have you in my life because you are incredible. Joan is an icon, an actress, and a director on the global stage. She has starred in films and TV shows like Twin Peaks, Lust Caution, The Last Emperor. She showed her directing prowess in the fearless cinematic show The Scent Down Girl. She has championed bold, personal, independent films like Saving Face, this year's film festival selection, Montreal, Ma Belle, and one of my favorites, Wang's Dìdi, where she gives a luminous performance as Chang Wang. Sean, would you like to say a few words?
Yes. But I had the pleasure of working with Joan on my first feature, Dìdi, which got to screen here at the New York Asian Film Festival 2 years ago. New York, let's go. Dìdi means little brother in Mandarin, but it's also a term of endearment a lot of moms call their younger sons. It's what my mom still calls me, and Joan plays a character who was loosely based by my own mother. Her name is Chang. I probably should have changed the name. She's an immigrant, she's a painter, she's a woman with hopes and dreams and longing and regret. And Joan imbued her in the movie with so much heart and soul. I knew in the moment while making and releasing the movie that working with Joan was going to be one of the most meaningful experiences of my career. But with time and distance, I've realized just what a gift it is that Joan gave me in our movie. Like Andrew said, Joan's been in incredible films, worked with some of our greatest directors, and is a writer-director herself. Our movie was a low-budget, independent film, written and directed by a young first-time filmmaker, me, starring over a dozen teenagers who've never acted before, and my own grandma, who had most of her scenes opposite Joan. On paper, this should have been a disaster, and I'm still surprised that it wasn't. It almost feels like a joke that she said yes, but she did, and I'm so grateful that she believed in me and our little movie. I'll tell a quick little story and I'll get out of here, but the first day, one of my fondest memories of working with Joan, or not fondest, but funniest, was the first day she was on our set. It was, if you've seen the movie, it was this intense fight between mother and son where they're screaming at each other. That was the first thing we shot with Joan. And it was a really intense scene, and it was the first time our young actor, Isaac, met her, and they just went into it, and every take Joan did was alive and electric and emotional. And I went up to her afterwards, and I was like, and we were an indie film, so we didn't have a lot of time. I was like, Joan, that was amazing. We got it. If you want to do another one, if you want to just explore, let's do it again. And she goes, oh, we got it? I go, yeah. And then she wipes a tear. She goes, okay, that's fine. And then she walked away. She just went back to her trailer. And then my producer came up to me and said, hey, like, I think we have time for one more, but you gotta go quick. And I said, I think I just wrapped Joan. I think she just left. And he's like, oh, well, do you feel like you got what you needed? And I said, yeah, I think so. And he goes, okay, well, maybe don't do that for the rest of the shoot. And after we wrapped that day, I saw our lead actor, Isaac, lying down, looking up at the stars, and I went up to him and I said, hey man, are you okay? And he said, dude, Joan's really good. I gotta step my shit up. And, you know, I think that's a testament to, you know, Joan made everyone around her better just by being there, because we all just wanted to rise to her standard of greatness. She made me better, and she was such a big reason I look back at that experience so fondly, and that the movie is good. I'm so grateful that in a lifetime's worth of great work, filmmakers like me and Andrew could be part of your story. And so we love you, Joan. Thank you for being you.
Well, first of all, thanks Sean and Andrew, and such a wonderful introduction. And I would also like to, of course, thank the New York Asian Film Festival for giving me this award. Yeah, thank you so much. So I'll tell you stories about myself, since this is a lifetime and I may never be here again. So I'll start from the beginning. I was chosen from my high school rifle team to play a girl soldier in 1975 when I was 14. And then I won Best Actress Award in 1980. So it has indeed been a lifetime. Though for the first few decades, I never believed acting could be my life's work. In 1981, I came here to the United States, New York actually, for college, fully intending to study pre-med to fulfill my family's expectations. My parents were doctors, my both grandfathers were doctors, and one day, my mother actually told me, she said, do you want to be the prettiest doctor or just another pretty actress? But of course, fate had other plans. So one day when I was in Northridge, I don't know how it came up, but I told a classmate who was a stunt woman that I had won Best Actress in China. I don't know if she believed me, but she told me about the Bessie Lou Agency, which she said represented all the Asians in Hollywood. And she also told me, she said, you know, the pay is much better compared to working as a receptionist in a Chinese restaurant, which was my job at the time. And so I said, oh, I took a bus from Northridge to Sunset Boulevard. It took me about 2 hours, and walked into that office. Long story short, I got a job playing the corpse of a prostitute lying in a ditch. But the pay was indeed much better. And so I was like so motivated. I wanted to get more jobs. I needed to support myself through college. And then I played Miss Taiwan walking across the stage. She had no lines, but she was alive. And then my third part had one line. Would you like to have some tea, Mr. Hammer? And that got me a SAG card. So the progress was incremental, but I still wasn't convinced that this could be a real profession. You know, there was a time when I got so homesick for Shanghai that I contemplated joining United Airlines, not Cathay Pacific, but United Airlines just opened new routes to China and was recruiting bilingual flight attendants. There was also one time I seriously thought about pooling money with friends to buy a 7-Eleven franchise, because it was, at that time, I thought low risk. Even after The Last Emperor won 9 Oscars, I still was struggling to get any meaningful roles. And so I went back to school once again, hoping to learn another trade, just in case. There were subjects that fascinated me from time to time, like biological anthropology, like astronomy. But whenever a part came along, these fascinations would subside as quickly as a fever leaving my body. So I went back and forth between school and movie set for another decade, always keeping Plan B somewhere in the back of my mind. When I turned 40, it suddenly dawned on me that perhaps it was too late to start a new life. And then I also realized that I had been happiest whenever I was immersed in the creative process of making a film. So finally, at 40, I kind of stopped my half-hearted efforts to evade my destiny. Looking back, I see that I've always been drawn to a role like a moth is drawn to a flame, kind of heedless and like as if possessed. Now and then, I think of my brief infatuation with astronomy. The night sky on location in the Australian desert was so brilliant that the Milky Way seemed almost within reach. Or the nights in Iceland, where the northern lights fluttered like luminous curtains, shifting from green to violet to crimson. One love always recalls all loves. I feel so profoundly fortunate that at 65, I continue to be nourished, enriched, and challenged by this calling. The legendary dancer Martha Graham once said to Agnes DeMille, "No artist is pleased. There is no satisfaction whatever at any time. There is only a queer, divine dissatisfaction, a blessed unrest that keeps us marching and makes us more alive than the others." I've never been satisfied with my performances. I always see what I could have done better. And that divine dissatisfaction, that blessed unrest, is carrying me toward new horizons still. Thank you again.
joining me for this edition of Backstage Pass with Leah Chang. Until next time.